This video puts forth a defense of monopoly. The book written by Richard Mackenzie and Dwight Lee, titled In Defense of Monopoly, How Market Power Fosters Creative Production, will be the discussion of this video. First, the authors don't defend all monopolies. They are critical of government-created monopolies or government-created barriers to entry. Quote, when the monopoly rents are the consequences of entry barriers that the government, meaning politicians, erects in response to interest groups' rent-seeking payoffs, the monopoly rents can be construed as a form of theft, potentially no less destructive to social welfare than common burglaries and muggings. The more open government is to extending monopoly privileges, the greater the deadweight loss from restricted production and from rent seeking. The welfare loss, it needs to be stressed, is then a product of government failure, not market failure. The authors are critical of how Econ 101 presents monopoly. Quote, when monopoly theory is developed in textbooks and on blackboards, the monopoly is typically discussed as already existing. The monopoly exists as if by magic. The presumption is wrong that any firm that acquires its monopoly power always imposes a net loss on the world equal to the deadweight loss triangle. The authors argue private monopolies, for example, those that emerge because some new product is developed, give rise to the deadweight loss because they are protected by barriers to entry that can be nothing more than a superior product that no one has yet been able to duplicate. The supposed inefficiency of a monopoly is blown all out of proportion. To quote the authors again, we have good reason to believe that the natural emergence of some monopolies under some conditions gives rise to welfare gains in spite of any deadweight loss that might be identified on a graph that doesn't properly and fully account for all costs and benefits. It is wrong to assume that going from a competitive market to a monopoly market that demand and cost of production do not change, as presented and usually assumed in Econ 101. The correct counterfactual. If a product is being produced by a dominant firm or monopoly, the counterfactual is not that the product would be produced in a competitive market at a low price. Instead, the product might never have existed at all. It is the lure of above normal profits that incentivize the owners or the venture capitalists that funded the project to produce the product in the first place. Market participants are better off with a high-priced product than with the product never existing. So, the upside of monopolies. Incentivizing innovation. Monopolies provide firms with the opportunity to earn monopoly profits, which can be reinvested in research and development. The promise of higher profits encourages companies to take risk and innovate, resulting in new products, services, and technological advancements. Efficient resource allocation. Although monopolies may create short-term inefficiencies by restricting output and raising prices, they can enhance long-term efficiency by fostering creative destruction. This process, where old technologies and business models are replaced by new ones, leads to significant improvements in economic welfare. Economies of scale. Monopolies can take advantage of economies of scale, lowering the cost of production as output increases. These cost savings can eventually be passed on to consumers in the form of lower prices. Dynamic markets. The authors argue that real-world economies are not static, and monopolies can drive the dynamic nature of market processes. Monopolies, by pursuing profits, create new goods and services that significantly enhance consumer welfare over time. In summary, while monopolies are often criticized for creating inefficiencies, the authors contend that they play an essential role in economic development by incentivizing innovation, allowing for long-term dynamic efficiency, and fostering creative production. Okay, that's it.